I'm Joey.T.Cartoon.P, and you're watching the Cartoon Palooza. Cut the intro. I just realized something. I want to talk about the definition of cartoons, at least to me. They're caricatures that allow us, the audience, to see our strengths and weaknesses. They allow us to laugh, reflect, and even praise the qualities that make us human. With that being said, the Return of Jafar is not a cartoon. I'll tell you what it is instead. It's a lazy attempt to cash in on a successful film. And there's nothing hiding that fact. If you haven't guessed, The Return of Jafar is the direct-to-video sequel to Aladdin, which, personally, I didn't think is the best Disney Renaissance film. It pretty much started that trend of pop culture references and celebrity voiceovers that DreamWorks seems to put in every one of their films. Generally, anything that's direct-to-video from Disney is not that good. Most of the time, it doesn't forward the story and just kind of capitalizes on the success of the prior film. How bad could these films be? Well, how about Bambi 2? And I'm not looking forward to this one. This is the first and probably worst one yet to set the trend of direct-to-video sequels. So bad that they even made a joke about it on Family Guy. You know your film's gonna be pretty bad when Seth MacFarlane's gonna make fun of it. So sit back and relax. You're going to need to. We're gonna be watching The Return of Jafar on the Cartoon. So at first, you think this movie's gonna be pretty good. You've got some decent animation of some horses running through the desert, and then that all dies with the introduction of this guy. Here's a thief appropriately named Abysmal, voiced coincidentally by Jason Alexander. He will also serve as our plot device to get Jafar to return, which is not a spoiler or anything because it's on the title of the movie. And you should also recall that this seems to make sense because, well, Jafar wasn't killed off in the first movie. He's famous for being one of those Disney villains who doesn't get brutally murdered off screen. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how bad can this movie be? Well, how about I show you this?
That does it! All reports are in! Life is now officially unfair!
If you had the impression that in the Aladdin sequel, Aladdin was going to get a big role, heck, they even put his name on the DVD version of this film, you are entirely wrong. This film centers around Gilbert Gottfried's character Iago getting a change of heart so that he could join the good guys. That means one thing. This movie is pretty much the longest Houdini commercial you are ever going to watch.
It's not just a shoehorn, it's a shoehorn on a stick!
Oh, and it gets better. Not only does Iago have one song, he gets 2 songs to sing. Now we have to listen to the most annoying voice possible.
No, we just don't pay to give up. Forget about that guy. Forget about the way you fell into his eyes.
Please, God, make it stop! Make it stop!
Enough of this fluff.
So while you have some returning voice actors from the first film, like the kid from Full House who plays Aladdin, they don't get Robin Williams to return as the voice of the genie. Instead, they get this voice actor who you probably recognize.
He's big, he's blue, he's back! Yeah, that's one fine-looking barbecue pit. Why doesn't mine look like that?
Yep, they got the guy who played Homer Simpson to play the genie. So when you think of all-powerful deities, you think of alcoholic, yellow, abusive fathers. So Jafar and Abysmal want to use Iago so that they can continue their plan to free him from the lamp and take over Agrabah, which is kind of a stupid plan when you think about it. First of all, Abysmal still has power over Jafar. Surely he can influence his choices, But Abysmal still got the upper hand here. He could just wish for Jafar so that he could obey his biddings. And second of all, Iago's got the power of the genie on his hand. Remember in the first film when he was freed from the lamp? He should have the powers of a god. There's no way Jafar should top the power of the genie. Unless he traps him in a fishbowl? Where did that come from?
Come, Abysmal. We have other lives to ruin.
Oh, so like the people who bought this film. You're probably thinking, in a bad animated film, the writing is bad, but at least the drawings are pretty to look at. That's not the case for this movie. First, you've got so many inconsistencies with the animation, like Aladdin jumping out of his regular street clothes into the bum clothes out of nowhere, which is another thing why he still has bum clothes when he's living in a palace. You have Jafar turning into dog poop before shapeshifting into something else. Or how about this one scene where Aladdin is going down a river and he misses a rock and then comes up in front to get it. And only to make matters worse, Jafar gets all of his power, he's striking fear into everybody's heart, and this is the genie's expression. Did he just get lobotomized or something? So throughout being tortured, maimed, and almost beheaded, Aladdin finally figures out how to get rid of Jafar.
His lamp. You destroy Jafar's lamp. You destroy Jafar.
Oh, really, Genie? Maybe you should have shared that information before not killing him? What are you doing in this movie? You're putting you and your friends in danger when you could have resolved this whole matter in a couple of seconds. What are you doing in this movie? Just go away. Well, if there's one good thing about this movie, I'll tell you what it is. Iago gets the shaft once they kill Jafar. Thank you, God. Disney's right for once. Dreams do come true.
Okay, that's it. The madness is spreading. Crazy talk. Why do I keep getting hooked up with these
I don't usually say this, people. I find hate as being a really powerful word, but I hate this stupid. I hate. For a movie that's only 60 minutes long has never felt like an eternity of torture. The characters are idiots, the animation is Saturday morning cartoon at best, but not enough to be a good follow-up to a Disney Renaissance film. And on top of that, there are a bajillion plot holes. So my rating for this movie? What do you think? I'm Joey.T. Joey Tedesco, and thanks for watching this hate-filled episode of the Cartoon Palooza.
She said as you walk